What's up guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you should handle the quality assurance and the quality checks inside of your content agency so that you can deliver faster work for your clients. Okay, so this video is a must watch if you have a YouTube content agency, you run an agency, a video agency that manages content that needs to be internally revised and also in the client facing as well. The client needs to review the videos. You spend too much time doing the actual quality checking process. You feel like the process is chaotic and you rely on constant back and forth DMs with the editors, with the clients to provide feedback, get feedback, share feedback. So everything runs through you and you feel like the process is chaotic because of that. So I'm going to show you the solution for that, and by the end of this video you'll know how 50k plus a month agencies handle the quality assurance process, and you will know how to build the same system for your own agency. We're going to dive deep into a lot of the actual operations when it comes to the revision loops internally and externally with a client, and how you should build a system for that. But before we dive into this, I run an agency where we help YouTube content agency owners making 10k a month close more clients, grow without chaos, get better client results, which is very important, and scale to 40k plus months using an operation system. So if you are interested in that, you can book a call in the first link in the description. But let's get straight into it and talk about first how a video goes from sent to an editor all the way to approved by the client. So these right here are the statuses that a project, in this case a video, goes to achieve the final outcome, which is an approved video by the client. Okay, so in this video, we are not going to talk about the thumbnail process, just the video editing, but the thumbnail one should be pretty similar. So here we got the status sent to editor. So this is when a video the raw footage is sent to the editor for the editor to work on the video, right? Then it's in progress, which means that the editor is working on the video. Then the editor submits for quality assurance, and we either have editing revisions or it's approved by the creative director. Approved by the creative director right away, it's usually not the case. So usually probably like 90% of the times we go through editing revisions. So the creative director reviews the video, leaves comments for a round of revisions. So we got a round of revisions here, editing revisions, and then it's submitted right here, and then it's submitted for quality assurance again, and we might go another round again, and then it's finally approved by the creative director. Now that we went through the internal revision loop, we need the client revision loop as well. So the creative director submits for client review, and the client either approves the video right away or also leaves comments on the video and requests revisions. So if the client requests revisions, obviously we got to work on them and then submit again for client review, and this is the loop, right? And the loop is closed if the client approves the video, right? So this is a high level overview of how the process works. Now let's see step by step what each person, the editor, the creative director, and the client does to take the video from sent to editor to approved. Okay, so let's go over here. This is internal revision loop, and then the client revision loop. It's not actually loop, this should be a process here. So we got the internal revision process and then the client revision process. This starts right here. Right here, the blocks in green are tasks and actions made by the editor. Then here we have in purple for the creative director, and then here on this side we also have the client. Okay, but since we're going to start here on the internal revision process, we only have the editor and the creative director actions. Okay, so the editor edits the video, creates a frame.io project. Frame.io, if you don't know, we're going to talk about later in the video, but it's just like Google Drive, but you can basically leave comments on the videos way more effectively, and it's way more cleaner to leave reviews and comments, and it's way better for the revision process. Okay, so the editor creates a frame.io project, uploads the editor footage to that project, and then notifies the creative director that they need to review the video, right? So the creative director receives that message, opens the video, reviews it, either approves the video or leaves comments. Either way, they will need to notify the editor. Okay, but let's go through the leave comments. So if the creative director leaves comments, it's going to notify the editor. The editor is going to receive that message. It's going to open the video and check the comments. Basically, the comments are the feedback that the creative director left on the frame.io video. so that the editor can make the necessary updates to the video, right? He makes the necessary updates and uploads the new version to the same frame.io project, okay? And then again notifies the creative director. So this is the loop right here, the internal revision loop, okay? Notifies the creative director, message received, open video and review again. Let's say that this time the video is good to go. So the creative director approves the video, notifies the editor that looks good. So now we go to the actual client revision process. So after it has been approved, the creative director creates a frame.io share link. So this is just a link for the client to actually access the video. So the client doesn't have access to the frame.io account. So we just create a share link and we send that to the client. So we notify the client that they need to review the video. The client receives the message, opens the video to review it, and it either approves the video and the flow ends right here, or leaves comments. Obviously, if they approve the video, there's other work that need to be done, but we are talking about the quality assurance and quality checking process, okay? So the client leaves the comments if they have feedback and notifies the creative director that they left feedback, right? And the video needs to be revised and we need a round of revisions, okay? Now the creative director receives that message, opens the video and checks the comments that the client left because they might be not relevant, okay? The client may just left a comment for any reason. So if it's not relevant, the creative director is going to chat with the client and approve the video, right? So the video needs to be approved. So it's going to chat with the client about the comments that they made, or it's going to approve the video on behalf of the client, okay? But if the comments are actually relevant and it's good feedback and the video needs to be improved, the creative director will notify the editor to make the necessary changes. So the editor is going to receive that message. It's going to make the necessary updates to the video. It's going to upload the new version onto the same frame.io project. It's going to notify the creative director that he did the changes to the video. The creative director will receive that message and go all the way back and notify the client again that the video is ready for review. So the client will receive the message, open the video and review it again, and hopefully approve it. So here the loop is like this: notify editor, boom, and like that, right? It may close right here or here. Okay, so you can see we have a lot of stuff here. We have a lot of actions, and there's a need for good communication between the editor, the creative director, and the client. Okay, you can see right here we have notify CD, notify editor, notify client, notify CD, notify editor, notify CD. So there's a lot of messages that need to be sent for the person to make the necessary action to move the video forward, right? So the question is, how do we streamline this process? And the answer is actually simple, but requires you to build an actual system that can handle this effectively. And once built, it's going to run smoothly forever. So you just have to set it up once and never think about it again, okay? But how do you actually do that? It's very straightforward. You need 3 tools. You need Airtable right here to build portals: a portal for the editor, a portal for the creative director, and a portal for the client. Portal or interface, same thing. And we're going to use frame.io for the comments. If you are a content agency and you don't use frame.io for video revision process, you should be using Frame. Okay, so check out frame.io. What I recommend is that you only pay for one account. So you pay one seat, so you don't have to pay for your team members to be on your Frame workspace. So you just buy one account and you share the credentials with your editors so that they can create the projects and upload the footage and all that stuff, so that it's way cheaper, right? So you don't need to pay for a user to all of your team members, okay? So frame.io for the actual comments that you leave on the videos for that process, and Slack to send the notifications to the editor, to the creative director, to the client on their specific channels to notify them, these notifications, all of these ones, to notify them to make the next action that needs to be performed, right? Either like review the video, approve it, or check the feedback, whatever it is. So we need to actually notify them to make the action. So those are the tools. Now you actually need to build a system. So frame.io is pretty straightforward. Slack, you need to create the channels. Now, the complex one, the complex tool, is the actual Airtable process, how you build the portals and the database that holds everything together. Because a portal is just the top layer. We then have automations and we have the database. Okay, so let me show you how it works, or at least the theory behind it. So to build a system that actually solves our problem, we need to think in a specific way, okay? And that way is regarding the project and who has access to the project and who performs the actions that move the project from sent to editor all the way to approved, okay? So if I scroll down here, we have a conveyor belt, and this is basically the process. The project goes from sent to editor all the way to approved, right? And the actual stages are this one over here that I showed you earlier in the video. So we have sent to editor, in progress. So we got all these stages here, and we need to give the editor, the creative director, and the client their own interface where they can perform the actions that will actually move the video to the next stages, okay? Now, when building the actual portals for these people, you need to make sure that you show them only the data that they need, and you give them the actions and the buttons basically that they can just click on to notify the editor, notify the client, notify the creative director to actually perform the action and move the video to the next stage without having to manually send messages or manually move the status of the project. So let's start with the editor. We're going to have a portal that the editor, your editors, will have access to. And the first thing that we need to cover is the views and then the actions, okay? So when it comes to views, this is very straightforward. What I'm trying to represent here is that the editor should only be able to see three eyes. In this case, three eyes. One is hidden because, you don't want to give the editor all the information about this specific project, okay? Now, when it comes to actions, the editor can perform three actions. This is just a random number here, but let's say the editor can, start to work on the video. They can submit for quality assurance, and they can check the feedback and make the necessary updates to the video. Okay, so these are the actions that the editor can make inside of their own interface and portal. Now, when it comes to the creative director portal, he can view everything about the project. Okay, anything that the project is related, he can see everything because he's the creative director. But you can obviously hide views and data when building these interfaces and portals. Okay, but this is just an example here. And the creative director has a bunch of actions as well, so he can approve the work from the editor or provide feedback, send the video to the client. He can share the client feedback with the editor. So he has a bunch of actions that he can perform as well to move the video to the next stages, and he needs to be able to do them inside of their portal and interface. Okay, now for the client portal, we need to hide a bunch of information about the project. Mostly the internal process. Mostly like who is the editor. How is the internal revision process looks like. All of these backend information that the client shouldn't be able to see. So we just show them the data that they need. Okay, and the action here, I only added one here because they can approve the video or leave feedback, right? So how do you actually build a portal where they can perform these actions and only see the data that they need? You don't want to be sharing with your client the data from other clients. How you do that is by building portals inside of Airtable. So let's go over the three portals that I have set it up inside of Airtable, and we are going to move a video exactly from the send to editor stage all the way to approved, and I'm going to show you what happens and how each different person triggers an automation that moves the video to the next stage. Okay, so let's go over there right now. So I just opened up the three portals. Here we have the creative director portal. Here we have the video editor portal and the client portal. Okay, so let's go over the editing QA first. Well, actually the video editor one, because this video is sent to editor. So the editor comes here, opens the video that he needs to work on, and obviously this would have a bunch of data. So I might just use this video that is already in progress because it has more information in it. But basically what the editor would do is just check this box over here. Let me show you how that works with this one. So he would check this box, and this would move the video to in progress. You just saw that. Okay, so Here, it would then track the progress of the editing. So here with the stars, he can track the progress of the video editing. Then he can create a frame.io project, paste the link here, and basically frame.io, how you create a project is very simple. Go over here, create new project, and name it like that. You can obviously, let me go here, this is the video editor portal. You can obviously add a link here that he's basically an SOP on how to actually use this interface. Okay, so the editor pastes here the frame.io project and then uploads the footage there. Right here we have the creative director revision loop and the client revision loop. Okay, so we are obviously first in the creative director revision loop. So let's upload the footage. Let's say I already uploaded this video here, so let me open this. Okay, so let's use this project over here. Let me paste this here. So this is the project, and I'm gonna check this box to notify the creative director that this version is ready for review. So I'm gonna check this, and you can see that the video just moved for submitted for QA, and we got the version 1 here, edited footage version. This is just to keep track of the versions of the video. Okay, so I just opened up Slack here, and I opened up the quality assurance for this editor channel, and the creative director got a message saying C23 version 1. So if I go over here, you can see over here C23. This is the ID of the post-production request. Okay, so C23 is basically the video version 1 has been submitted for quality check. Please take a look and share your feedback with the editor. And the awesome thing about this is that the creative director can just click this link, opens their own portal. I already have it open up here, but it opens up their own portal and the video itself here. So they can just scroll down, open the frame.io project that the editor uploaded, right, and created, open the video, and just review it and leave the comments. So this is awesome, right? So let's say I leave comments on the video, cut this part, do this and that. I go here as the creative director and I check this box to notify the editor that I left feedback. Okay, so I check this and it's gonna go from submitted for QA to, let me close this, editing revisions. Okay, what happens now is me as the editor over here, I get notified C23 View 1 has feedback from the creative director for you to check. Here's your interface. I click, it opens my portal, the editor's portal, with the video over here. So boom, C23, I scroll down and I can open the video over here by clicking the button again, checking, obviously, I can check the comments. I can open the video, check the comments that the creative director left for me, go back, edit the video again, right? And upload the next version of the video, the V2, into the same project as well. And the cool thing about this is that you can stack up different versions and compare them as well. You can see over here, I'm comparing two different versions. These are actually different videos, but these would be version 1 and version 2, and I can now compare them to see if the editor actually, made a correct update to the video, okay? But as the editor here, I need to upload the V2, as I said, and notify the creative director again that this video is ready for review, and you can see that it moved for V2 as well. So this is the loop. It goes from submitted for QA to editing revisions, submitted for QA, editing revisions. And again, the creative director is going to get a notification. This time it just says V2 here. So that's the difference. And I already have that opened up here. So this should be the portal. So go here. The creative director checks the video again. And finally, he can approve the video if it looks good. So he approves the video. I believe the editor is going to get a notification. Yes, it did. So hey, João Marques C23V2 has been approved by the creative director and it's now going to be reviewed by the client. Okay, so what I need to do now is share this video with the client. Okay, I'm the creative director here, so I'm on its portal, so I'm gonna share this video with the client. So how do I do that is by going over here, share. I create a share link, and if you are on the frame.io pro plan, you should turn off show all versions so that you only show the latest version of the video to the client. Okay, so you copy the link. Sorry, did I do that? Copy the link. You paste here, and this is the link that you're going to send to your client. Okay, how you do that is simply by clicking this box. So this is the client revision loop. So check to notify the client that this video is ready for review. So you can see how easy it is to notify people and to basically do everything about this project inside of your own portal. Okay, so this just triggered a Slack notification as well. So if I go over here, client Alex, here the client is Alex or Moses. So hey, it's tagging me because I'm everyone here. You know, I'm the editor, I'm the creative director. This is just for testing purposes. So hey, João Marques, we have just finished editing one of your upcoming videos. This is the title of the video, and it's ready for you to review. You can leave any comments for us to make the necessary adjustments, or if everything looks good, you can approve it right away. And they also have their own portal. They can just click here, super easy for the client. They just click here, opens the video, and they can simply select one of the options, right? So they click on this video, they click on this button, sorry, and it opens the link that you pasted here. So this link is gonna open up and they can actually review the video and leave feedback. Let's say they left feedback. What the client's gonna do is select this option, I left feedback, and it's gonna go through the client decision loop, right? So what happens is the client gets a notification as well saying, we have successfully notified the team that your video needs a round of revisions. They will work on it and get back to you as soon as possible, hopefully with everything corrected. Okay. Now, the team actually needs to get notified. So, hey, creative director, a client has requested revisions for C23 round one. So it's round one of revisions. Please review the feedback and share it with João Marques. Here is the editor if needed. Okay. So, as I said, the creative director first checks the feedback of the client because it might not be relevant. So, here, if I open up the interface of the creative director, so the creative director checks the client's feedback on Frame, the comments that the client left, and then forwards the client feedback to the editor if it's relevant. So the creative director simply checks the box over here, and the editor is going to get a notification. Hey, the creative director has shared the client's feedback on C23 with you. Check it out and make the necessary changes, again with their interface over here. So they just click this link. It's going to open up their interface and they can easily work on the video, right? So they review the client feedback, they go back and edit the video again, and they upload to the same project on Frame, and they click here to notify the creative director. So now if I go back here, we are on this stage. Where are we? We are the creative director notified the editor, make necessary changes, upload new version, and so this box right here, this checkbox that I just checked, is performing this action. Okay, so the creative director is going to receive the message. Hey, creative director, the editor has updated C23 based on the client's feedback. Please review the video and send it to the client. Okay, so if I go over here, we need to notify the client now, right? So frame.io project, your interface. So the creative director also has a link right away to that specific project. So it's all dynamic, it's all automated, so that they can easily work on this project. So the creative director reviews the changes made by the editor and then notifies the client that the video is ready for review again. You can see that these was unchecked and these just moved for round two. And if I scroll right here to the right, we got approved by CD, we got submitted for client review, and client requested revision. So this is the loop as well here. Okay, so what was the video? Is this one? Yeah, so I just notified the client they need to review the video. So we are over here, message received, and it's gonna open the video and review it. And if we left comments again, it will go down this path again. Okay, but this time we're gonna approve the video. So let's go over here. This is the client channel. We have made updates to your video and it's ready for you to review again. Feel free to leave any more comments if needed or approve if everything looks good. So click here to open the portal, right? So the client opens this up, reviews the video here, opens the frame video, and approves the video. Okay, video looks good, approved, and that's it. Okay, so also we get notifications as well. So the client gets a message as well saying, hey, João Marques, you have successfully approved the video. The team will now begin working on the next steps to get it published. So you can see here that the actions that the client takes actually sends a notification saying like, okay, you have made this, we are working on this, here are the next steps. So the client is like, he feels like he belongs to the process, and he can actually see on their own portal what's happening as well. So we're not going to cover these pages here, but this client portal is very, very valuable for the client, and for the client experience as well. So here on the quality assurance channel, the creative director and the editor also need to get notified. So, hey, creative director Angel Marques, the client has approved the video C23. Okay, so this project is pretty much done. Obviously, it's not done. We need, the thumbnail, we need all that stuff, but the video editing process is done when it comes to this project. And this is how the portals work, and this is why they are so powerful, and that's why you need to think like this. So as I showed you, the client can only access specific information and can pretty much just perform one action. The creative director can access everything and he can perform multiple actions. The editor can see a bunch of information as well, not everything, but he can also perform a bunch of actions. So these actions and the checkbox that you saw, most of them are checkboxes, are the ones that move the video from sent to editor all the way to approved. And this is how you build a system that is scalable and tracks everything, tracks all the statuses and the stages of this video, so that you can spot bottlenecks. Internally on the revision process, we are taking like 3 rounds of revisions. That takes a lot of time. That's delaying our deliverables. Let's make sure the editors actually know what they are doing, so that we don't need to make so much rounds of revisions. So yeah, that's a bottleneck example that you may find when you track the data and you actually build systems like this. Okay. Now, what actually happens in the backend are automation triggers. So all those checkboxes that you saw, those are actions that are performed by the user that trigger an automation. And these are a bunch of the automations that we have for the editor revision loop and the client revision loop. Okay, so we got these automations, and here is who triggers. So the editor triggers this one, these automation. The creative director triggers these ones, and the client triggers these ones. And these are the automations that send the Slack messages all through Airtable. We don't use any external software for the automations. This is all built on Airtable Automations. So Airtable has a connection to Slack, and we can send the messages through the automations. Okay. So you can, by the way, you can access this Figma board in the link in the description, and you can take a look at everything more clearly. But yeah, we just went through everything. So this is pretty much the screenshots of the messages that you get. But one detail here is that these automations, they don't just send the Slack message. Okay. They actually, as you saw, they change other stuff. They uncheck other boxes. They move the video from version 1 to version 2. They move the video to the next stage. Okay, so these automations are not just for the Slack messages. They actually update data inside of the database on Airtable. Okay, so how could you build this? You can go ahead and probably set up something like this in Trello. So instead of building these automations, you would just manually move the stuff. So it's not a good idea if you are going to scale a lot, but if you are just starting out, you can build like a Trello, a Kanban style, just like you saw in the portal. So if I go over here, just like you saw in this portal over here, but you would manually move the video and the project to the next stages, and manually talk with the other people, right? So this is obviously not the best solution, but you can at least be some sort of organized, and at least know what the status of the video and the status of the project. Okay, and you can always take a look at this diagram here to know what the next step you should take, right? But if you want to build something like I just told you, with all these automations and portals, you should use Airtable. That's the tool for the job. This is obviously not a technical tutorial on how to actually build the interfaces, because it would take hours to make that video. But if you want our help building a system similar to the one that you just saw, customized to your agency and more, because I just showed you let me show you over here. I just showed you the actual editing quality assurance process. We got the pre-production, we got the hiring, we got the CRM, we got the workspace interfaces, we got the whole client portal thing. This system is huge, and it can help you scale your content agency to 50K, 60K, 100K months. So if you need our help to scale your content agency book a call in the first link in the description, and we can go over your operations, spot the bottlenecks, and see if our system and our service is helpful and could actually benefit your business. Okay, so that's it, guys. Book a call if you are interested. Otherwise, just leave a like, leave a comment if you want, and have a great day. I see you guys in the next video. Peace.